Hey, MAGA, your TDS is showing. I can't tell you how many times this week I'm hearing crazy shit from you guys that I thought was a done deal, but you just don't pay attention. Got my Kona beer right here. Cheers to the happy hour. TDS. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. But I'm hearing people I actually know, smart people, saying that no, he won in 2020. And I heard it like on the White House page. Many people told me, oh, you're crazy. Trump won in 2020. But here's the thing, he lost. And he lost by more to Biden than Kamala lost to him by. Biden beat Trump by far more points, millions more points, votes, than Trump beat Kamala by. He only beat Kamala by 1.4%. 1.4%. Less than 2% he beat her by. The thing is, he beat her in a lot of states, which was surprising, right? But here's what we're talking about. 2020 election, Trump claimed he won. Trump also claimed there was fraud in the first election in 2016 where he beat Clinton, but he said there was fraud in that election too, and he actually beat her by more. This is because Trump's a narcissist. He always thinks he wins, and he knows the most about everything, and he always won by more. Trump's a compulsive liar. Trump did not win in 2020. In fact, his own family, his daughter Ivanka and his son-in-law Jared Kushner and his William Barr, his attorney general, and his whole staff testified that Trump knew he lost and went ahead with the January 6th insurrection anyway. How do we know he lost? Trump claimed election fraud in multiple states, and he took to the courts in multiple states to say that he won, but he could not produce evidence in any state. Not one court case. He lost over 60 court cases, 66 court cases, and could not produce any evidence, to the point that his lawyers, Rudy Giuliani and the rest of them, were all disbarred, and some faced criminal charges for lying and presenting false information. That's what happened. That's why Rudy Giuliani is broke now and no longer practicing law. Because Trump lost in 2020, and because he's a man baby, couldn't take it, so he lied and said there was election fraud. He could not prove any election fraud. Trump even hired 2 auditing firms, and both of the auditing firms that Trump hired found that Trump lost. And they even found extra votes for Biden. So this was one of the very most highly researched elections in American history, and the good news is it was almost flaw-free. So there was no significant cheating, there was no significant fraud. And if you're telling me that you think that Trump won, and I'm guessing you heard this on Trump's own website, Truth Social, he owns that and he controls the programming, it's propaganda. I don't know where else you are getting your information from, but please, I challenge you. Show me your information that says Trump won in 2020. Show me the evidence. I dare you, okay? I don't think you can. I don't think you could show me a fucking thing, because Trump himself couldn't produce any evidence. And if Trump had all this evidence, right? If Trump had all this evidence proving that he won in 2020, why doesn't he show it to the world? He's the president now. He owns the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court and the White House, right? He's got the majority. So why doesn't he produce all this evidence? Why doesn't he just put it out there to the world? Because he doesn't have any. Jack Smith, however, is testifying today under oath and showing all the evidence that he had for the documents cases from Mar-a-Lago, where Trump had stolen classified documents, tens of thousands of pages, and was hiding them at Mar-a-Lago. Well, one just surfaced at an auction and likely sold for close to $1 billion. So what do you think he was doing with all those classified documents, besides telling his friends about them at parties and Kid Rock and who knows who else? He apparently was selling these things, or had such a weak grasp of where they were and what was happening with them that they were stolen and sold at auction in Dubai, of all places. So really, this is why we say you guys have TDS. It's because you're gullible as fuck and you believe every goddamn thing that Trump says, despite him being a compulsive liar, and he has zero evidence. So if you have any evidence, please show me how Trump won in 2020. You do realize not only did he lose, and then he lied about it, and then he caused the insurrection on January 6th, but in 3 states, he had fake electors break into the polling place, try to pull the original counts and put in their new totals that they forged and signed. In 3 states, those are the RICO cases. The Georgia state was one of them. There's Arizona, and there's a 3rd state. All these cases are going to be opened up once Trump leaves the White House, as is the January 6th case, as is the Mar-a-Lago documents case. These are all dismissed without prejudice, which means that he's not exonerated. He didn't win. They're just put on hold because he's the president of the United States. When he's out of the White House, this is why Trump wants a 3rd term. He doesn't want to leave. He says once he's out of the White House, the cases will be reopened. He will be tried and put to jail till most likely he passes away. So I hate to tell you that, but that's the truth of the matter. Again, I challenge you to show me evidence that Trump won in 2020. Peace and love. Happy hour. Keep on keeping on. From Kona, from Hawaii, to the bottom of my balls, I wish you good things. Peace.